What? Smoking on my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. We're back with Balmoral Castle, the Queen's Scottish Castle. Listen, if you've been subscribed to me, then you know how much I actually really love castles. Um, Look how I start off my motto all the time. Dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats, overachieving, never slacking. I mean, dragons and castles, they go hand in hand in mythology. You know, in those different stories that you'd hear, you always hear about a dragon flying around a castle or a dragon burning down the castle. Or, so it just brings me to my childhood a lot when I think about castles. We don't have too many in America. We have castles, but I don't. It's not the same. It's not the same like like over the pond for sure. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen all our castles is pretty much prisons. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's those. Yeah, that's it's the prisons. You got certain ones like I think Humble is it Humboldt or something like that. Castle in a Thousand Islands. You got certain ones, but like I said, it ain't gonna hit like it's gonna hit out in England or or Scotland. But with that being said, let's get to it. This is the Queen's Scottish Castle.
While Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle may be the most well-known of the Queen's royal residences, the monarch has been going to Balmoral Castle every year for her summer getaway. Located in Royal Deeside in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, Balmoral Castle has
Just looking at that image, you could picture a dragon just flying right at the top. That's the only thing missing from that image.
Balmoral Castle has been in the royal family since 1852, after Prince Albert bought it. The Queen and her husband, Prince Philip, famously visited the residence every year during their marriage. However, 2021 marked the first time the Queen spent the summer here as a widow, having lost Prince Philip in April 2020. Welcome back to Royal Living. In today's video, we'll be going on a tour inside Queen Elizabeth's Balmoral Castle. Make sure you stick around until the end if you don't want to miss out on any exciting part of this tour. Let's get started.
Cole, he's my miracle child.
Definitely looks very interesting. All these places in England look interesting.
Balmoral is set amongst acres of lush green countryside. Balmoral Castle is set amongst acres of lush green countryside and the nearby River Dee. As you would expect from a royal country residence, it is isolated from any noisy neighbors. However, it has the village of Crathie at a convenient 6 miles away, and it is located just under 2 hours away from Inverness. The royal family residence was initially purchased by Prince Albert, Queen Victoria's husband. Deeside was reportedly recommended to the royal family for better weather. However, they believed the castle was too small to suit their needs, so they hired architect William Smith to remodel it. The new castle was finished in 1856, and the old castle was demolished shortly thereafter. The royal family continued to utilize the home after Albert and Victoria died, with King George V making his changes and improvements in the early 20th century. However, the royal family stopped using the residence temporarily during the Second World War. Balmoral Castle is not part of the Crown Estate, as it is a privately owned property. It was originally purchased by Prince Albert rather than Queen Victoria, who was monarch at the time. This means the property is going to pass down through this current royal family, and it will remain in their private property. It is impossible to discuss Balmoral Castle without discussing Queen Elizabeth and her relationship with the estate. The monarch's love of the castle is well documented, and it is not surprising that she chooses to spend so much time there during the year. The Queen hosts guests regularly at the castle. The drawing room, as well as the study, have been used to host dignitaries and special guests. The impressive bookshelf that is located in the study is a real talking point for guests. The importance of Balmoral's garden is worth noting. The garden, which is regularly used for events and garden parties, is alleged to be Prince Philip's favorite thing about the whole estate. From the pictures that were taken inside the royal residence, the Queen's home is traditionally decorated with wooden furniture and in some traditional Scottish colors that include a standout green carpet and a green sofa. Balmoral reportedly has a whopping 52 bedrooms, alongside a lot of reception rooms. What sets Balmoral apart for Queen Elizabeth is the freedom that it grants the monarch compared to Buckingham Palace. Her Majesty can go for long, solitary walks where she does not need to worry about the media. She can enjoy a sort of quiet normality. Royal author Juliet Ryden explained that at Balmoral, the Queen sometimes does the washing up
That's crazy. They got royal authors, people who just write about the royal family. I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
herself. This privilege is not limited to her, as it also extends to the rest of the royal family. In the past, Harry and Meghan have spent time at Balmoral, and it is reported that Archie will be introduced to the castle soon. The castle is set on the Balmoral estate, which covers 50,000 acres, and it is located within the Cairngorms National Park, so the royals are not short on outside space when they're there. The castle grounds are made up of a combination of formal gardens and green spaces. It also includes forestry land, farmland, and an array of animals that includes deer, Highland cattle, as well as ponies. The castle grounds are also abode to an endangered species of red squirrels. Notably, Prince Charles is quite fond of the squirrels, and he sometimes lets them run around inside his home, Birkhall. The Prince of Wales, who is also the patron of the Red Squirrel Survival Trust, does not deny it. The formal gardens cover 3 acres, and it is where the royal family will most likely be found relaxing on a pleasant day. The Duke of Edinburgh himself extended the gardens so that it includes a large kitchen garden that is harvested when the family is staying there over the summer. Within the grounds is also an array of glass houses, a water garden, and the front lawn up to the castle itself. Also located on the grounds a mile away from the main house is Craiggowan Lodge. Craiggowan Lodge is a 7-bedroom home, and it was often used as the residence of Prince Charles and Princess Diana when they visited Balmoral. However, it is mostly used nowadays as a residence for important guests who are coming to visit the Queen. The monarch and Prince Philip sometimes stay there themselves during the first few days of their break if the tourist visiting season is not over yet. While the area of the estate where the Queen resides is kept private, there are parts of the estate open to the public throughout certain times of the year. The public can visit the home from April until the end of July, as the monarch comes to stay there shortly after. The estate also has cottages that are open to the public and can be rented for a hefty fee. It is worth mentioning that their availability depends on if the royals will be using them or not. When you visit the residence, you can stroll through the expensive grounds, shop in the gift shop, visit the Piper's Hall Cafe, and see the outside of the Garden Cottage, which is where Queen Victoria sometimes used to have breakfast, deal with state correspondence, and write her diaries. However, visitors are only permitted to enter one room of the castle itself. The public is welcome to visit the ballroom, which hosts various exhibitions throughout the year. An exhibition on Queen Victoria was held there most recently. Today, the ballroom is still used by the royal family, particularly for 2 big dances that the Queen holds during the summer. But the rest of the rooms in the house are not permitted for public viewing, as they are the monarch's private rooms. According to Business Insider, the royal residence is worth £115 million. It was purchased for £32,000 in 1852. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on post notifications so that you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos.
So, have y'all ever seen the show American Gods? Uh, I think they're done with their seasons now. But there was this one episode where they went to this like mansion party for Easter, and it was Ostara, who she's pretty much like this goddess of the beginning of spring. And long story short, where they went looks just
This
like
is why I stopped shopping.
looks just like they like that backyard. Like it looks like they could have shot that whole scene. Hold on, let me find like right here. It looks just like what they were doing in that show, American Gods. If you've seen that show, then you definitely know what I mean here. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure when it comes to the royal family, they've had so much getaway spots. I mean, they probably got castles that we will never know about. You know, the hidden castles, right? Hidden castles. They probably got hidden big underground castles that we would never know about. You know, who knows? Like, I mean, it's just so much. But as far as Balmoral Castle, it's magical. It's very magical. Uh, but it doesn't have like, how can I say it? Like it has that straight up historic, like this is what you picture a castle to be. It don't feel kind of like updated, or it seems like they didn't do much changing around with this. Like they didn't. It just seems like it's how it was built is how it's always been, and it doesn't. You know, it's a staple. It's a staple. It's like when you look at the Empire State Building. You know the Empire State Building's always been an Empire State Building. Then you got certain buildings where they've done a lot of updates. They've added a lot of attachments, and you know things have changed. I mean, when you come to my neck of the woods, New York, you'll see. Obviously, the Twin Towers aren't around anymore. It's the Freedom Tower now. But a lot of things in across the pond, period, out in the UK, just seem like when they were how they were built. It's like not much changes have been made. Like it's always been exactly how it was made to be. And I think that's some rich history right there. I mean, sure, I'm sure they've added a couple things too, you know, but overall, doesn't seem like many changes. Like if I was to go back in time, you know, a couple, you know, 30, 40, about longer than that, I'd say even 100 years ago, it probably still looked just like this, you know? Maybe they added the fountain, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've never really been in a castle, so I can't really picture how it would feel. Except for, like I said, the one at 1,000 Islands, I did go in there. But to live in a castle and, you know, this would be like their summer spot, vacation spot, I mean, it's hard for someone like me to really fathom that reality and they even think, like, what are they doing, right? They reading, you know, they playing their wealthy games. I don't know, like, but it's pretty cool though, for sure. I bet you that I want to know how like I bet you they got a big basement in there full of all type of stuff. I mean, just look around. It's crazy looking at stuff like this. A lot of rich history, huh? But with that being said, that was Balmoral Castle Tour, the Queen's Scottish Castle. Shout out to Scotland. Once again, Scotland just... I've learned so much about Scotland, you know, and how you guys got that free roam, and there's so much going on out there. The wind was just blowing so hard that I thought someone was trying to open my door. Wow. But with that being said, I guess that's my sign to move on to the next video. So I will see you guys soon. And if you've, like, they have tours for regular people, right? So if you've been to the Balmoral Castle, or if you've seen it, let me know. How was that experience? I'm sure there may be somebody who see this video that probably doesn't live too far from it. I always get those, and I think that's awesome. Those people that when I react to something, they're like, "Hey, my house! I can see that from my house." That's pretty cool. But I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy your day.